So we are here. Welcome. Mahalo for joining us. We have two incredible. Yes, they came down from the KoAloha dynasty to visit us for the night, and they're two awesome gentlemen that have been making ukuleles for you guys for many years. Alan and Paul Okami.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, aloha, everyone.
Thanks for having us over.
Thank you for
me again, but
back.
me again.
We couldn't get Alan the first time,
again,
so
but...
we
I wasn't
just showing.
I mean, not my feelings weren't hurt, but I wasn't invited.
I don't even remember how that
Oh,
went.
it was a builders thing. That's why the first one.
There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Dirty.
I build bills.
Right. I pay the bills.
Yeah.
The fun job.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is just kind of like touching base with like how you've dealt with the last year of craziness and how KoAloha's kind of handled that and where you're at now with that. Has it evolved you in any ways?
I'm Christian, so I don't actually believe in evolution.
Even Christians
I like
believe that
to
things have
call
to
it
evolve.
adaptation.
Wait, before that, I want to introduce. We forgot to introduce
Oh,
Kalei,
is it
who's-
Kalei?
Oh,
Hey, what's up,
Kalei.
man? Long time no
Kalei,
see.
Kalei, you're looking very green
Yeah,
chair.
oh,
Yeah,
you gotta eat more, man.
color
Like you're pretty
suits you.
thin.
You better not show this chair.
Hulk smash.
Well, Kalei should be joining us later. Is he? Did he message you?
He is probably still in that meeting, but
Mm.
I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say he's not gonna show.
Wait, what time? I've lost track of all time and space being in this beautiful studio right now.
It happens.
It's
Okay.
2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of interesting question because I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that hasn't been affected by this past year, and we've all kind of adapted. And one of the words that I actually hate is pivoting, because I feel like people, they didn't really pivot. It was more like a moniker that people attach to what we've had to do. We've had to adjust and kind of find ways to be relevant, to kind of reconnect to what we want to do, and also to evolve into a pathway that can make us viable, as businesses. And in that regard, for us, one of the biggest things was to keep the social component of our business intact. And I appreciate this question because we're actually struggling with that right now. As the community and the world continues to open, we're not offering our factory tours yet. And because we're so low on staff, I've been actually managing the info box. So any of you emailing in,
This
I always
is
put
team member.
Team KoAloha, but that's actually me. And because we just don't, we're not the same anymore. We're about 50% of what we used to be staffing wise. And one of the most painful things is to answer the factory tour question. Sales of ukulele, we were actually really blessed. People go to sources of comfort in times of need or in times that they're hurting. And what we've noticed from the Gulf War days is when the economy slows down and people aren't feeling good, they turn to things like ukulele. And in that way, we're very, very blessed. Because we're not food, we're not a necessity. But people come and they gravitate toward things like ukulele because they want to feel good. And so not to be able to meet people and to take them through our tour and just share with them about us and what we do, that hurts. And that's still taking some adjustment. It's still taking kind of like mapping out an approach and how are we going to do this? Like, we're joking around before we came in here, and I said, my goal is not to be serious this whole podcast. I said, but what I'm hoping is that people, through the process of what we talk Starry about, more than our instruments, they'll get to know who we are. And if you don't mind me being overbearing, that's because I don't want to dictate, your interview. This is your session. But that's kind of my goal, is to say, behind every company, there are live bodies, and 10 bodies haven't come back to us as part of our family. They didn't die, but we weren't able to call them back. And if you ever spend time at KoAloha,
It's family.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
10 people are not back with us, and that's family.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a wrap. See you guys next time.
See you guys next week.
The wine helps. Cheers.
Let me tell you guys what kind of guy Alan is. When our shop flooded last week, he was, pushing us to let us help him redo our flooring. Flooring is not fun work. That's like the kind of work you do when You absolutely have to do it. It's not the kind of thing you volunteer for. So, and it wasn't some gesture. It was sincere. He's like, no, seriously, I got my equipment. I can come up. I'm ready to help you guys. And actually, you did drive up, and people weren't there at the time. But no, I mean, I love you guys. You know, your family is so from the heart that I don't know anybody that doesn't recognize, that knows you guys, that doesn't feel that way towards you guys. And for the people that buy your instruments, I feel like it comes through in the instruments that they're playing. The soul and the heart that you guys put into it.
Yeah, there was, it's funny. I don't know if you guys remember. There used to be the Saloon Pilot commercial for the crackers, and then when I was a kid, I used to think that commercial was so stupid, and it used to like irk me because
You would actually ridicule it.
I would actually ridicule it.
Let's be honest.
We're being real here. So basically the commercial it's like the son of the founder of the Saloon Pilot factory, right? And he's like, Dad, how come my crackers don't come out like yours? And then the father's simple answer is how you put your heart and soul into making them. And I was like, that's so dumb. Just make a freaking cracker. Like, what? And like, I used to make fun of that commercial. And yet, like, you cannot measure heart and soul. You cannot, it's there though, and yeah, for like, people notice stuff like that, it's like music, we've talked about it before. If you could be the greatest technical player in the universe, right? And if you're not playing a piece with some level of emotional investment, it's not going to connect to people. And the same is true for something that you build, or even a service that you offer, right? Like when you go to a restaurant and like your staff, your server, or even the person who seats you, the host or the hostess, when they're genuinely friendly because they're a friendly person, it makes you feel like great, right? As opposed to like, you can tell when somebody's being friendly because it's their job, and it's, you still feel okay, but it's kind of like, oh yeah, that was okay, but there's nothing memorable, and it's that feeling that goes into instruments. And we used to have this one guy work for us, and super funny because we were telling him, and a lot of the staff was kind of new at the time, so they all kind of came in within months of each other. So we were all training, the more experienced guys were training the newer staff. And one of the things that me and my brother always used to tell him was that we can tell exactly who did what on the instrument. And this one guy was like super skeptical, so he's like, you could see it in his face. He would like, he'd listen because he's like, okay, it's my boss, so I gotta listen to what they're saying. But you could see in his face, he's like, that's bullcrap. They don't know who did what, right? And so he became a believer, and he in turn became more invested as a builder. And because a couple times he was like, so he would actually bring me sometimes an instrument, and he would try to trick me, right? So I'd be like, in my station milling, and he'd bring me an instrument and be like, hey, here, go and shape this neck. I'm like, Grace. He's like, what? And again, we come back to like the Saloon Pilot commercial, right? And it's like, it's so funny because I used to make fun of that commercial and think it's something stupid and ridiculous, and yet
You became the commercial.
I became the old man.
Do you use that? You still use that quote? You use that quote at the factory?
Sometimes
because we think it's probably copyrighted.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, but yeah, Paul, I'm out of production now, but at one point in time, I was more toward the tail end of the process where I'll do stringing and setup, and I could actually touch an instrument before playing it, and I could tell you who set it up.
Oh wow!
And it would just have like this, like this sense or this feeling that surrounded it, and then when I play it, I'll say, oh yeah, like I used to do setup at the time, I think my father and somebody else, and I'd play it and say, oh yeah, my dad did this one, and the person asked me like, how do you know? I said, because it has my dad's personality in it.
You
You can hear when it plays.
You
And,
see the quote at the
and you know what?
Put
Dad don't
your
listen to
heart and
podcasts.
soul.
you know, put your heart and soul.
Yeah, you get a little bit angry. A little
Dad
bit
don't listen
heart,
to
you know.
podcasts and it buzzes.
Yeah.
So what do you guys see as kind of like your biggest challenge in building it back after this year?
Oh,
I think you get two answers out of that.
Or is
Like-
there a building? Is like, do you feel like the company has just kind of changed now and you're gonna find its new way, or is it a matter of building it back to what it was?
well, my answer is gonna be simpler because mine is more yes, and then Yoda over here will have a something about the when the moon aligns with Jupiter, and then wait, what? But yeah, I mean,
no, that's not going to happen for a few years.
yeah, yeah, because for us coming back after the break, it's just different, and one of the things like I realized was things are not going to be exactly the same at the shop ever again, and that's not a good or a bad thing. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And nothing you can do about it but move forward, and it doesn't make it easier or harder, but I think realizing that and rationalizing that things are going to be different, it's a good place to start. So we were in coming off of the break, we were just in survival mode for practically a year, right? Where it was like, just what do we need to do to stay open, right? And the focus was just that.
When did you guys move factories again?
2017.
Yeah.
And then
That was a rough time, huh?
It was.
Oh, we got
We got nailed.
we got nailed by lots of stuff.
Everyone tells that story, but like, oh, when we went through this, it was bad. But
Yeah.
like for
Oh, it was
real,
pretty
we almost closed. Our competitors almost had one less competitor.
oh,
Long story short, so
because it took
okay, so
a while for
yeah,
you guys
so
to get
we
out
were
of the old
exactly
factory.
right. So
I miss the old factory.
the move itself
We don't.
was
but,
draining.
Yeah,
Oh,
we appreciate being there, but we don't miss it.
That's all right.
We
But-
miss having our own toilet now.
No, the only thing I
mean,
liked about it was
Had
the
the
second
canal.
floor.
Yeah.
You guys have the
Oh,
sliding
yeah,
door.
our trash chute, which
I don't know
was
why. I don't know why I liked it.
throw
but
it outside onto
I
the
was just like,
parking lot.
if anything ever happened,
Quick
I
escape.
gotta escape,
Yeah. Just
jump
boom.
off,
Yeah.
do a kind of
Ninja.
roll. I know I'm gonna get hurt and possibly die.
Yep.
But
Not die. Get
I could do like
horribly injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear?
Probably not get away.
You want to hear a nice story about that sliding door?
Did somebody actually fall off? What
No, we staged it though.
do you mean?
So we had a worker from Japan that was very rebellious and would like to get under the skin of people on purpose. So
It was
one
very
day,
rare. for-
one day we put him in a packing box, and we told him that we're going to throw him off
No,
the
hold
sec-
up. First, we rolled him up in a blanket one way.
That's right.
Then we rolled him up in a blanket
The other
opposite way.
Then we put him
Then
in a
we
box,
put him in a packing
Oh,
box.
and we
that's a
taped
big
his
box.
shut.
Facts.
And we said we're going to throw you off the second floor. So we kind of paraded him around our lunchroom. You remember our lunchroom, right?
Yeah.
So we paraded him around the lunchroom, and we put him on the lunch table. And he's like screaming and hollering, trying to get out of the box, right? And we said, okay, I guess we're going to push you over the edge now. And so we pushed him off of the edge of the table, and he's like screaming bloody murder. And then, it's only a 2-foot drop, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, ah!
No, it wasn't the table. We just slid him off a pallet, remember?
No, it was the table.
Was
We
it
had
the
him on the
table?
lunch table.
Oh, okay.
Because he was screaming bloody murder. Like he's like, ah! Boom. There's this dead silence. He comes out of the box.
Shishi all over.
There was a lot of 4-letter words that came out. Okay, sorry.
No, because
Back
I
on
think
track.
Back on track is how you put your heart and
Oh
soul.
man,
What was the quote again?
Corey, who would we do that to over here?
That would probably be me. I'd probably be in that box rolled up twice
Yeah.
off of the.
But
Because we have a sliding door right behind here.
your revenge could be you could soil the box,
Oh, you don't want
and
me
someone
to
would have to
soil
clean
anything.
it up.
I mean, I'd probably end up cleaning it up.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Myself.
oh, Corey,
Okay,
clean that
backfired
up.
it.
What's wrong with you?
Backfire.
How
Plan
did you
B.
guys wrap me up in this box? What the hell?
Plan B.
But there's this behind these. We boarded it up and it's locked up. You can't like even if you anything crazy happen, like it's a crazy night, you can't ever fall off of this. You can't ever open the door.
Oh man,
Boring.
that makes it less
Boring.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That doesn't make for a KoAloha
I
story.
used to dream about it. Someday I can
But
fly.
you guys see it as just kind of forever changed, and you'll just move on from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we when we came back, we, again, a lot of how you deal with, what happened to the world and, everybody as an individual, business as an individual, it's about perspective and how you move forward in a different situation, right? And for us, absolutely, yeah, like, do we want to rebuild, the business, get back to the amount of, production that we were doing, both stock numbers and customs and, like, we were joking around about black labels and, like, we didn't make, like, any. Like, that, we made a whole fat nothing.
I have a
last
big
year,
list of disappointed people.
Yeah, but it's just, it is what it is,
Yeah,
And-
I mean,
for
how,
those-
how many people you guys
For
have?
those listening in Japan, the reference is actually Black Label. I'm Japanese. I can get away with it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Black label.
Gross finish.
Ew, why do you want that finish?
But yeah, we're just looking at it, and so we took it as a forced reset to what we do, and it's how we build the company again. And the good thing is it wasn't from game over, and it wasn't from square one.
we're
it
really
was,
lucky.
Yeah,
like in that way.
and we're wiser and more established, and
I was
Yeah,
so
it's-
worried when it went down.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I just didn't know whether, like, all markets were gonna clam up and
Oh,
just
dude.
stop buying
Try-
and just.
try living with our dad, man. That's
What was his reaction at the time?
that's like living in crazy town, population me. so dad was going off because, like, so growing up, right? So our grandma was a worrywart. So basically, whenever it would rain or the wind is too strong, every scenario of you leaving the house ends with you dying.
Because you'll get pneumonia.
You'll get pneumonia, or like if it's windy, a branch will fall and hit you on the head, and you go make. And so basically versions of how if it's too windy or too sunny, you get skin cancer and die. So our grandma was like a super worrywart, right? Like one of the nicest people you have ever have met. But our grandma was like
Like the crudes, don't leave the
yeah,
cave.
yeah. She was the crude.
Don't
right?
leave the
Don't leave the
cave.
cave. What's the number one rule? So, dad was going off on, like, he's like, actually, I was dealing with it okay, but, like, he would make me kind of come down sometimes because he's like, oh man, what if?
Well, there's this thing called the bellows of anxiety.
Oh no, it's great. It's great. Yeah, it makes it worse. But yeah, so dad was like,
Is that what the media has been doing for the last year?
yeah, so
No,
he's-
Dad. Yeah.
So he's even talking about, like, so I started growing my own kalo at home, and just
wow.
for fun, right? But I figure, if I get enough to eat, I'll eat it. If not, I'll replant them and learn, get enough to eat next time. And then he's like, oh, you better learn how to grow that, because maybe that's gonna be our food. I'm like,
Oh, forever.
I
like
mean,
like he eats kalo.
yeah. I was like, I mean, I wasn't.
Like when was the last time I seen Dad eat pork?
Oh, never.
Never. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like,
So
man,
it's like you can come
you're not-
skinny, Dad.
You're not
He's
making
preparing.
it.
He's
You're not
like,
making
hey,
it
maybe-
better, man. You're making it worse.
It's like, wait, am I gonna have to supply the food for our family here? Because I don't even know if this is gonna. Yeah.
But I
Well,
think,
how did you grow it? Because it requires.
oh, when you're one with the aina like I am.
Oh, okay.
Now you just put them in dirt, water them. Like it's that easy. Like,
Really?
Yeah, they're.
You don't need like irrigation and
I mean, they'll do better, but like,
sunlight.
yeah, no, they're.
Did you have to sing the
Love and
Kalo Man
care.
song?
I listen to it a lot.
Paul's the kind of guy that when he walks into our warehouse, he starts analyzing the structure of.
Yeah,
how
he
it
walked
was
in.
built.
Hey, can I look
He's
at?
like, when was this
Can I
building
look at all
built?
this tool?
I'm like,
Can I look
I
at-
don't know.
How would you say I walk in?
Like
like
the
a
life
boss?
of a
Like-
party.
Like, where's the-
Guns blazing.
Okay.
Like
Like
Because-
a mobster boss. I
Oh,
would
my first guess would have been, where's the toilet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, that's Paul.
Where's the toilet?
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it,
he hit
is
him
it
right
safe?
after
Is it safe? Is it clean?
I got a
You
text
know,
from Paul.
will I be happy
I'm gonna go
here?
make shishi in the parking lot. I was like,
I was
whoops.
about
Well,
to.
we have a bidet. That's
I did see
noticed.
that.
We know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
noticed. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
it makes
not
it makes for a healthy smile.
we're not that primitive.
Hey, Japan.
Yeah.
Japan has a lot of.
Our first time I used it in Japan, like he's telling me, because prior to COVID, we go to Japan like maybe 2-3 times a year, and he's telling me, dude, you got to use the bidet. I'm like, yeah, maybe not, dude. Like,
It is kind of a-
oh, game changer.
You're just like fresh and clean. Like
It's
there's
so much
no.
better. It's like,
Yeah.
why didn't we have this all
Right?
along? It's like, God.
It's the toilet paper lobby.
Yeah.
It just,
Well, hey, we
Can't
found
get rid of
out.
toilet
We
paper.
found out that's real.
the toilet
Right?
paper,
The-
along
yeah.
with the sugar
Yeah.
lobby.
Yeah.
No, like so.
And the oil lobby?
I kind of wonder, like, okay, I know you
They're the
folks.
smaller lobbies.
Yeah.
I know you folks do
You guys are that
ukulele.
important.
We do ukulele, but maybe we can do a partnership venture and venture into the Middle East.
I don't even remember the question.
It's like how has it transformed us? Like
Bidets,
dude,
obviously.
like
Obviously.
is business changed forever? I have a different take. I say no. Like some people are going exclusively online. My caution to them is think about it first, because the thing that COVID is kind of taken out of our way and our lives is the human interaction. And you look at ukulele in particular, our market, people love to connect using ukulele. The only way they can do it right now is like through Zoom or
It's not the same, man.
it's not the same. People want to touch, they want to feel, they want to see, they want to experience. People want to get back to being human beings again. So I'm not sure if resuming business as usual is the proper mindset or framework to attach to it. But I'm kind of contemplating maybe it's reconnecting or finding different ways to connect with people so that we can deliver this experience that they're looking for. Because historically, I think one part of your question was, I actually expected to get busier, to be honest, because I've seen it from when the Gulf War hit. It's when I was actually going through some personal turmoil at work, and I bought my first luxury vehicle. I bought my Toyota Sequoia because I was working incredible hours. I was burnt out, and I said, I always take care of the company first. I always take care of the employees, and I never take care of myself. So I'm going to buy myself a nice car. So I bought my Toyota Sequoia, and 1 month later, the World Trade Center gets bombed.
Oh.
And I thought, well, it was nice having you for a month, my friend. But, you know, I can say you were once mine. We actually got busier. Of course,
we were talking about this.
We went a little counterculture too. First thing I did was I actually bought, at the time, Consolidated Theaters had movie ticket vouchers. So I went out and I bought thousands of dollars of movie vouchers. And I visited every single one of our customers and said, you know, we're not sure how this is going to work out, but thank you for supporting us. Without you, we're selling Girl Scout cookies outside of Walmart, you know. So I just went out, connected with our customers, and we got busier than we could handle, to be quite honest. And we've noticed that with every time the economy will take a downturn, we actually get busier because people are looking for ways to connect once again with their humanity, to kind of give definition to this existence of ours, right? COVID was a little different because it wasn't specific to the United States, like our conflicts right in the Middle East. It was global. So we were a little curious, but we started to see the uptick in everything. And if anything, it's a good indicator for us of what the future for ukulele holds. But we're not going to sit on that. We're going to say we are learning things in this process. And the primary thing that we want to develop or deliver is what I often label what we do. We make people happy.
Yeah, Corey.
It's just
we make people happy.
We make what we produce. We produce ukulele, but I think it's more important for us to make people happy.
How many people you guys have in production right now? Like 4?
Yeah, like just 5. Because K got me.
I actually think I can probably think a little better if we have a little more wine.
TJ.
Do we have to take a break?
Oh no, like Paul can talk.
It's like 5 or 6.
Corey, refill him.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yes, sir.
But yeah, big drop from. Yeah, when the shop was full, we had 13, and all on production, and I mean it's basically cut in half right now. So
that sounds like a lot more pressure on you, Paul.
Well, so is it? How did you adapt to having such small manpower?
Oh, just get faster.
Yeah, right. Just work harder.
All right, guys. Now,
yeah.
Instead of, you guys don't have lunch breaks now, and it's 12 hours.
Yeah. Everybody just understands,
sorry, but not sorry.
Nah, it was
because I don't feel like the demand is less.
Yeah, no, it's not.
The demand is still there.
Yeah, like so when we first had to shut down and everybody had to shut down, right? Obviously our production took a hit because the shop was literally shut down for like a month, right? With nothing going on. Like I saved for
I wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
I was outside. Hey, you guys still?
I guess no.
We still got Ukes or what?
We opened in phases because the city mandate said you can complete essential functions and maintenance of inventory. So,
overhead stuff.
We can't leave things in process because Andrew know, the wood movement, right? So we had things in process already that we said, okay, we're going to build to completion. And so we activated a very, very small core that really was just finishing product that was already in process. But our standard line was, we also didn't want to be inappropriate or exceed parameters of opening, or what, not parameters, but we didn't want to be in violation.
Yeah.
So our line was, we're not open. We're just going to complete what we have in process so that it doesn't go to waste. So we had some output, but for all practical purposes, we weren't open.
I remember that. I think it was bothering you and Brian the whole time.
Yeah.
And I had to meet you guys in like a
But
dark
you guys
alley
were
and
really
pick
big
up a couple boxes of.
in
They're like, yeah, there's
helping
dudes
us.
in there.
And you guys have been an essential part of us still existing. Whether you know it or not, like the partnership is real. Like there's, like, I hate to use the word need, but like we kind of need you guys in a way that is a little uncomfortable for me. But
I make it more uncomfortable by showing up every day.
yeah, I know. I'm
Like,
like,
hey guys,
Crap,
you guys
we
got something?
gotta
Oh.
give them something.
I hit the button.
It's a two-way street, Without a lot of people say, if we sell direct, we can maximize our profit, eliminate the middleman, and we could actually downsize the amount that we make. But when we connect with dealers like you folks, it increases who we can make happy. Because if we focus on making people happy, money comes in the process. If you do things correctly, you got to do your mechanics. You have to do the nuts and bolts, or you simply won't be in business. But what if we say, let's put a little more emphasis on making people happy? And by eliminating or sacrificing on our margins, so to speak, if it's even called a sacrifice, you folks reach a lot of people. And don't get me wrong, Andrew, I listen for feedback. And if I didn't hear good things about what Hawaii music, ukulele, I don't know what you guys market under.
I know, we
Ukulele
used to
stick,
make
We're
Hawaii
like-
music.
We actually
Sorry,
just
Brian.
changed our name again.
Are you serious? So
It's called Corey's Ukes.
like
What's up?
Corey's Corner.
if we didn't hear as many positive things as we did,
We'd be canned.
I think you'd be faced with something, and we'll be faced with something too, because you're representing us, and we appreciate how you folks have represented us and this relationship that we have, because at the end of the day, once again, I'll defer to what I said earlier. Relationships drive a lot of things, and in the same way that you say we've helped you, you folks have been there for us. And for me, I don't forget that.
Well,
Unless he gets mad at
Oh,
you.
when I get mad,
Oh, he
Back
didn't-
to,
I don't
back to
for-
me
I
ringing
don't
the
forget
doorbell.
that either.
So
Yeah.
who answers the door? Like I press the button. I show up on the camera.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh god damn it, it's Corey again.
Oh, it's like him, me, Brian. We all have the
Do you guys-
the alert.
'Cause
Kind
it always seems to
I
be
mean,
Brian.
we do it. I mean, up until you actually just ask directly, we
kind of
would
get the
do
feeling
that
like
behind.
Brian actually likes me.
Yeah, no, we would do that behind your back. And
Oh,
then,
okay, okay.
And then we're like, okay, well,
Well, he's good at make pretend.
you gotta.
Oh,
okay, okay, wait, see,
I mean,
I'll
I
do it
couldn't
right.
tell.
I'll do it
He's
right now,
really
right?
good.
I'm like, okay, so here's busy, and then okay, wait.
Oh,
so this
Corey,
is me. Okay,
again?
so I'm walking down the steps. Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you don't have to rub your hands with alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't have to take a temperature.
hey, you could work at our store with that.
No, we get. Yeah, it's usually Brian though. We'll get it, cause usually I'm. So the funny thing is, so he's usually upstairs, right? And then I'm closest to the door, but I'm like in all my safety gear, and so I'll look at it, and then like by the time I look at it and I think nobody's
So
gonna
you look
come
at the
down.
clock. All right, time to
Yeah,
put on my safety gear.
I'm like, it's been
There's
about
Corey.
it's been about a minute, right? I'm like, okay, I'll just go, grab the door, let whoever it is in. Usually, right after I take all my stuff off, I start walking. I pull out my earplugs. I start walking to the door. Then I see Brian walk by. I'm like,
Okay, that's version 1. Version 2 is I'm in my office. I'm like, I'm about to get a new high school. Corey,
Damn it!
oh my god, the notification just like
Because
ruined,
it's,
like,
it's,
you
it's
just
a mobile
ruined,
app,
you
right?
have ruined many high
it's,
scores.
it's
I-
ring.
Oh, I know. Was that
I've
like
ruined
Candy
the
Crush or
menu.
something? Oh man, do you guys think there's any aspects of your the job that could be automated that aren't yet?
Oh, dude.
It's like everything.
He came in guns blazing with the gangster stories. I came in gun blazing with the robot stories.
yeah.
Oh, hey,
Um,
they got automated
yeah.
sidebenders now.
No,
AI
yeah, absolutely. Like, it's actually funny that you asked that because that's been.
Wait, hang on. Let me check the battery level because the Paul robot's about to.
Paul's actually sleeping at home right
What
now.
version of Paul is this right now?
Oh yeah, I mean, pretty good.
He's
pretty
so
good.
lifelike.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were actually talking about that when we were driving.
Yeah,
up
like
here.
we were
seriously.
talking about it on the way over, and
Yeah.
even, like the future is
robots. It's computers.
It
It's
is.
bigger yet smaller.
The future's now. old
San
man.
Dimas High School football
that was,
rules.
that was the,
Yeah, I think a lot more can be automated than what is currently the perception of what can be automated. And like Taylor is I think a great example of putting technology and working it to its current potential. Where it's still handmade, but still also very, a lot is done by machines, right? Robots and CNCs and like it's brilliant, and if you had asked me that question even 5 years ago, my answer would probably be very different than what it is today. But there's a certain amount of automation that I think is necessary for especially small shops to remain efficient and not, there's only so much that the market will bear and what we can charge to be fair and, not be overpriced, because we can or for whatever reason, right? Like, we try to keep prices to a level where our business is viable, but not, like if we could charge double, we won't charge you double just because we know we can, because it's not fair, right?
Wait, why don't we?
Son of a.
But you're trying to make people happy, remember?
Okay.
Crap.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
How you put your hot and stove.
there you go. There you go. I was waiting for the quote.
But yeah, I think a lot more. I think the potential is there, and it's just untapped. And but a lot of technologies are hitting like home consumer level, where like say like 3D. So I just got a 3D printer, and
interesting.
You make
most
pig winders for like $85 a piece right now.
custom KoAloha string winder takes me like
I
an
just-
hour to
I
print,
saw it the other
but
day.
It's like, bro, why are you making ukulele? Just make like more pig winders.
but
$200.
Yeah,
Because they come with a logo on it.
Oh, hey.
that one does
Sign
it.
me up.
That one does it. But stuff like that, right? And like right now, that the 3D printing scene, I guess if you want to call it that, it's evolving at like an amazing rate. It's growing. The technology is getting faster, cheaper, better. Like every month, right there, the companies are dropping new machines that are faster, more accurate. And
Yeah.
I got one to basically play around with CAD design and CNC machining, right? It's printing, but I mean, basically having a robot do what you tell it to do. And the technology is gonna catch up to like the crazy ideas I have in my head I think in like a matter of a few years, that it'll be able to print what I want it to print with the accuracy that I want it to print to allow us to automate other things. So
Even in Germania?
even in Germania,
I was thinking
That's
the
a
crazy
quote from
idea,
Trilogy. Yeah.
like the crazy idea.
Gladiator.
Oh, like
When you
Gladiator.
said crazy idea about like robots and whatever, remember Wolverine? Remember when there was a Wolverine in Hiroshima? Remember where he?
The
Did you see it?
oh the silver samurai.
Did you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, is that the one?
We saw
Yeah.
the yeah.
Logan-san.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was like the robot, whatever his name was. What was it?
The old rich
silver,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
silver samurai.
Like I imagine you would want to do that.
Oh hell
If you-
yeah! Technology's available, send me.
Screw these tuning peg, winding,
Later.
whatever. It is.
No, that's an interesting question because there's that aspect you want to balance between handmade and automation, right? As an instrument builder, Andrew
Yeah.
can attest to this, right? It's a neat balance because we were actually one of the holdouts to automate, amongst our immediate local competition, at a similar production capacity, because we didn't know how to maintain that balance of how much do we say we do by hand as opposed to how much do we pull from a box. But in this day and age, it seems as though for us to be able to make people happy, we got to keep our costs down. And that doesn't mean, we have one guy like going with a file and shaping your neck, because then your cola is going to be expensive, dude.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And it's not even because we're getting rich. It's just that's what it costs to make it, So
To keep prices fair.
so we're
CNC
actually
necks were kind of like the automatic step in that, like, okay, you're creating also consistencies that are hard to maintain and that sort of thing.
Well, I have been referred to as the human CNC, so I'm just throwing that out there. I mean,
Nice.
I mean,
He's like the John Henry with his like
I'm just
hammer.
somebody
competing
else
against
gave me that. I didn't call myself that. So,
So why do you have a 3D printer?
Yeah, right.
okay, so yeah, so
So what's the reason?
well, human CNC,
he
not
sets
human
it-
3D printer. There's a
I know,
difference.
but if you were,
You see, he competes against it. He sets the program
yeah,
and then he
yeah.
builds
okay,
it himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes
Let's go,
sense,
machine. You know?
You always gotta set the standard.
But yeah, I mean, it's like for me, I feel comfortable introducing more automation and technologies and robots basically, right?
So you're not totally against.
No, I
automation.
mean the
As long as he's programming them.
exactly. So
as long
if
as you are
it's-
the machine.
yes, if I'm the machine programming the machine, then yeah, because there's a difference, yeah. And when it's somebody who designs and draws in CAD or 3D, or even in 2D CAD, right? Like they'll get it that there's, like when art, like form and function, at its highest level to me is a type of art. Like a well-engineered machine to me is art because there was so much thought from both conceptual design to like how it's actually going to come together and be built to the person who's going to be using it, right? And the person at the very beginning, sometimes it's the same person all the way through and sometimes it's not, right? And as long as we or somebody in our house is responsible for all aspects.
That
So
kind of
from-
program.
he can,
Okay, sorry.
right? But
Yeah.
that or even so like the company that CNCs are next, it's that company because this guy is on it and like he does a phenomenal job and like he and I like we click and like we kind of think alike, right? And like his whole thing is not how do I make money off of these guys, but again partnerships, right? And like he hasn't raised our prices in like forever, and like he just recently did because he had to, but I mean for years and years and years he charged us the same price because he didn't have to increase the price, right? He easily could have, right? And inflation and materials and blah blah blah, but he's like I don't need to, so I won't, and but he gets it, and so when there's that connection there, and it's not a matter of contracting out next to the cheapest bidder, right? Or who can make them faster and cheaper. It's he cares about the quality, and there's artistry to me in what he does, and when there's that link, to me, you're not losing anything because it's not handmade,
Yeah.
and like I used to, so I like to cook, and we like to give each other crap about who cooks better, right? And so his thing that he likes to tease me is like, oh, why you always gotta make everything from scratch? It's like, oh, you talk about buying your wheat berries and you milled it yourself, and
Is it about the heart and soul?
it. So,
Is it full of
but like for me,
Everybody goes to make stuff from scratch.
yeah, like I like to get a good understanding of the nuts and bolts of what I'm doing, and I'll start with like the grain, right, when I cook, and then once I understand that though, then yeah, I'll buy like pre-made dough or a flour, but
I'll say, this pasta's on sale.
Dude, are we all aware of Alan's doppelganger?
which
Actually,
one? There's many. There's many. Yeah, there's
I just realized.
guy
But
from James Bond.
Is
the
it
famous-
Chowder from Cartoon Network?
No, it's Chef Tila.
Tila sounds like a girl, dude.
That's what I said too. But
no.
If you guys
I guess
have
he's
the
gonna-
internet handy right now, if you just type in Chef Tila, Tila.
Tila Tequila?
Actually, maybe it's not.
Because
Really,
Tila Tequila's not a chef.
depends on what kind of chef you want to classify her as.
Okay, let's
But
see. Well, hang
actually,
on.
maybe the other doppelgangers look better.
The
But,
last page
Odd
open
Job.
is how my,
Odd Job
how my
from,
son's not having
James
a...
Jet
Right.
Tila.
Oh, come on, man.
He's a good chef, though.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't his chef if you're watching. No offense, but I am better looking than you. Oh my goodness. I hate to say I've
There are
actually
better,
gotten that
better
before.
doppelgangers out there.
My doppelganger of preference is Odd Job from James Bond,
That's more accurate
and
because he is a Japanese.
and if you're like a '90s wrestling fan, Greg the Hammer Valentine. When I used to have my goatee, and I used to shave my head
I gotta look this up.
from
you
Heart,
gotta,
Heart
you gotta
Society.
put it on the screen. You
Yeah, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
gotta.
Because I used to shave my head and like grow my goatee. In fact, I used to do a double mohawk goatee where I used to shave down the middle, and then like
Oh my god!
just Andrew
Wait, let
found
me see.
it.
Let me see. Let me see. It was funny because okay, so I watched the Food Network.
Yeah.
Or I used to when I had TV,
Yeah.
regular TV.
Yeah.
Now I have just
Yeah,
Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah.
And YouTube and
Yeah.
Apple TV, whatever is included. We would have that program. Well, I don't know. It was random. I don't know what I'm watching. I put on Food TV or Food Network, whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool. It's either Gordon Ramsay or Chef Tila sometimes. Or the,
Andrew, do you
the
have
Mexican
another
guy.
question?
But this is the same time Mickey was working at KoAloha. It was the kitchen games, whatever. He was one of the judges, and I was like, "Hey, it's Alan," and then she looks and she starts laughing.
Oh God.
I know. Yeah, I know which guy you're talking
It's like,
about.
"Hey, it's-"
Okay, I've been trained in interviews, so I'm going to change the subject now. So my problem with Food Network is Bobby Flay.
Well, he's a good chef.
He's an extraordinary chef.
Incredible chef.
But how can he make pho better than the Vietnamese chef cooking in grandma's recipe?
Oh no, he can't. No. That's
No, but
not-
he wins, dude.
Nope. That's not real.
And-
But he loses too.
That's not
though.
real.
No,
That's
he
the
does.
thing.
It's like when remember when Gordon Ramsay he tried to make
Oh, yeah, he
Pad
did
Thai?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the Thai chef was like, "No,
Yeah.
this is trash."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it went down with. Like, but
I hope so, because I'm thinking about making my own YouTube or television show, called Trashy Gourmet. Because like, you heard how Paul goes. Like Paul will he'll source the flour from the Himalayas and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like, just buy the naan from Sam's Club,
you
dude.
got great value at long.
Because like you just throw garlic and butter on top, tastes the same. So I tend to cook that way. I cook out of a can, but then I'll put like makeup on it.
Mm.
Because
I feel like it's two different cooking
It's-
shows
it's-
right
it's two
there.
different approaches.
That's a chef's quality. You get something that
What we need to
What
do
do-
next time we have you guys on
It's
is have
co-
you both make a dish and bring it up, and then we'll rate it like blindly. We won't know who
Oh, I'm
made
down.
what.
We
I'm
should do
down.
that.
We should do
hey, every
that.
time, like not every time.
And
I'm not saying-
it cannot come with a story. It just has to be like,
Yeah.
damn, Alex,
We don't want to hear
tastes
about the
good.
Himalayan flour.
Well, when we do that
Yeah, it'll
podcast,
be
we have to do
purely-
the podcast at
Yeah.
the KoAloha factory.
Oh, you guys should.
We have to.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
it'll
be cool.
That'd be
Purely
fun
taste.
because
it's-
downstairs.
It's just a different of approaches. Because say if we cook like hamburger patties, right? Dude, mine is trashy, dude. But it
Oh yeah,
tastes-
hamburger patties is
but
good.
it's
though.
pretty damn
Yeah, but
good.
that's what makes it
It's
good.
I see
good.
Paul. Almost four-letter word this podcast.
Which one?
Paul weighs it. He weighs every patty. I'm
You
like,
gotta be accurate.
I'm like,
man.
yeah,
even-
that's about right.
It's called
Bah.
even cooking time.
Wow.
And then
That's-
Paul gets like
Heart and
this.
soul. Right
Paul
there.
gets this
That's
little
actually
pan,
so-
and he puts wax paper in it, and then he puts the patty in, and he gets more wax paper, and then he gets a smaller pan, and he forms the patties.
Oh, that's to make
That's
it easy
the-
to.
You know
to-
how I
to
form
grill.
Yeah.
I get the ball like this and throw them on the wax paper and I smash them.
No, but that's just
it.
to make it easy to
Done.
grill.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
Say, oh, that was a little bit smaller. Bah.
Yeah. Paul's trying to create like a consistency to like make sure.
Right.
That
so
is
every
good.
patty comes out.
Same kind of approach you
Yeah.
use with building ukuleles.
Yeah.
right?
Or else
Right,
how you
right.
gonna know like how come this one is saltier? How come this one is?
Because it had more salt.
Yeah. Tastes saltier, right? guys like to go the best because you are always out promoting KoAloha when times are normal.
Yeah, people get angry with that answer, you know, because somebody's feelings get hurt.
Oh,
For me, I'm at the point where I miss going everywhere. Like, there's certain places that, you know, you have a certain like affinity for it and everything, because you just connect with it, right? But you know, I'm not dying, but I miss every place now, because wherever you go, it represents friends that you have, and there's people that I miss a lot, you know, because I haven't seen them. I see them on Facebook, Instagram, and we can text message and whatnot, but you know, we did stuff with people. We put events together, we just hung out or whatever, and you know, the world hasn't, not only us, the world hasn't been able to do that. And in that way, I guess the best way I can answer your question is I'll probably start traveling West Coast side first, because it's probably going to be the most accessible vaccine-wise, the state of Hawaii-wise, etc. You know, I'm probably going to have that Q-tip shove up a nostril and everything, but, you know, whatever. It's part of life now. We want to get back to Asia, too. Like, you know, off camera, we're talking about, you know, Japan and Korea and everything. And sometimes Japan it can be a brutal trip for us because we're working nonstop. But I miss the flavor of the food. You know, I miss the cool air because I hate going there during summer. I miss.
do you have a favorite restaurant in Japan? Or a couple?
I don't have a favorite restaurant, but my personal thing that I do is as soon as I get off the plane, I go to the nearest convenience store
yeah.
in the airport, and I buy just a regular plain musubi with ume in it, and that's like my snack. Like, I always do that because
It's like a sense of home. Yeah.
oh, it's because it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's because it's Japanese rice, Japanese nori. It's like super fresh, and like, you know, it's like 7-Eleven version, right? But it's it's so good.
No, for me too. Like when I took my family, right, we went to little nicer places, and the food was good, but I'm thinking like, what the hell is this? Because it's not the convenience store food,
Yeah.
you know, like because
Well,
when
you
we
can't
go
get
there,
that.
that's
It's like
we live off
you
of that
get
when we go there.
all the
Yeah,
comfort
Family Mart
food, you know?
chicken.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like it's hard because Japan, like honestly, like it's hard to find a crappy place to eat there. Like, it's,
Is there different styles of food in the different regions?
You have to. Oh yeah, I mean, depending on which prefecture you go, there's like they specialize in certain stuff.
Yeah.
So like
I
if
went
you
to
go-
Hiroshima, and boy did I eat a ton of conger eel.
Oh, I
Like,
never had that.
oh, it's breakfast.
here's some
It's
eel.
anago. Oh, okay, great.
And for
Right.
lunch.
For lunch, we have anago. Oh,
And
okay.
then for dinner.
And for dinner,
anago ramen.
guess what? We're gonna have anago. Like,
Do you guys go to Korea?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
How do you like that place?
Korea is awesome too.
that's actually
Yeah?
you got it out of me. That's actually my favorite place.
Ooh.
Better than Japan?
What do you love about it?
I like how it's so friendly. It reminds me of stories my grandma would tell me about how people were, you know, back in the day. Like,
Good old days.
yeah, where
Grandpa.
I see a child on the train and like, you know, my kids are kind of grown. You know, I wave to the child, and rather than scold the child, say, "Oh, look at the strange man," the mom will hit the kid and say hi to the man," you know. And there's like gruff old Korean men at construction site smoking a cigarette, and you think like, "Oh, this guy ain't gonna say hi," but you know, I'll go around and spread the aloha, and I'll go like, "Oh, hey, uncle," and this guy will be like smoking like this and like with the like I'm gonna kill you face and oh hi, you know, and there's just like a certain innocence there that is a little bit more old school, and it's the only place that we've traveled to that I can appreciate the difference of when you have food snobs friends that say, "Oh my God, the food's so much better back in blah blah blah. The food's so much better back in blah blah blah."
But is it
Korean food here is nothing like
Oh, yeah?
Korean food in Korea.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it's
It's-
actually different. Like, cause like especially now, you can find plenty good Japanese places that are pretty legit.
Pretty decent,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's still kind of far from.
Yeah,
what
I
you
don't,
could get.
I don't know
It's-
if I agree, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's on par.
I'm a snob when it comes.
You're one of those. You're one of
Yeah,
those.
I'm one of those.
So.
There's a. Pretty
You been
big
to
difference.
Kirin, their omakase or their sit down side, not the teppan side?
Where?
Kirin, Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center.
Might not be snobby enough.
It's pretty spot on. Yohei is my favorite.
Yeah, I tried to book that place for our last anniversary.
Yohei
and
sushi- the
He
sushi
was booked.
is my
for the
favorite
day
in
that
the
I tried
world.
to get.
Whatever had
Yeah.
Yohei, but stuff like.
But tell me about the Korean difference, because I mean, like, Korean barbecue over here is
Oh.
a staple, you know, and I mean,
Okay, so imagine that, but like better.
yeah.
It's like it's, and so like, and the thing is like what,
Busan, the
Yeah.
duck gogi.
yeah, like what
Oh
we
my
know
God.
as like Korean barbecue, and like actual, like real Korean barbecue. It's just, I don't know if it's like the
Ingredients, right? It's always
and
ingredients.
Yeah, and it's
Because
like,
that's the thing that sets apart.
yeah,
like,
but
Japanese
it's
food
it's
from here
not
and
as
Japan.
So like the flavor profile, I guess, over here is like, so say you go out to some place over here, you could probably kind of like, if you like to cook and stuff, like you could go home and remember the taste and kind of make your own, you know, pretty good copy at home. Whereas like you go to Korea, it's hard to figure out like, so like if they bring out the so like for us, bulgogi over here is basically like beef terry, right? But the Korean version. But over there, it's like they marinate it in something, but the
But
beef
the meat
is
looks
same.
raw.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
looks like regular
Oh.
beef that's not marinated, but it's obviously marinated in something because there's just like layers and layers of flavor, and it's like this super finely cut, like mountain of beef, and then they put like the green onion and they mix it in, and then you put it on like this mountain. It's like the Mongolian style grill, and then it's like super flavorful but like super simple at the same time, and like I can't figure out like how they get all of that flavor into what basically looks like raw beef.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You
Get
know,
the
kalbi that we
technology.
know of. There's actually a name for that in Korea. They call it California ribs.
For real?
Yeah.
I thought that was
That's how westernized our rendition is here.
And what do they have, like meat and fish jun and those sort of things?
They don't even got
We
meat
actually
joint
don't
now.
eat
That's a whole,
over there.
That's the local Korean.
The closest,
so.
okay, the closest I got to meat jun was, I guess this Korean lady in the back gets her two knives and just like whacks the bejesus out of it. Pop, 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 pop. And then she egg battered it and she cooked it at our table. And that's the closest that I got to meat jun over there.
But it wasn't the same.
It
thing,
was incredible. Like, I can't, it's hard to describe
Because
because
the lady who made us the egg.
it was like kind of by Dawn's house. And
The little shop?
her place looked like a house.
Yeah, that's the lady who made us the egg.
Okay.
So it's the same place we used to go every day for breakfast for it's a pork bone.
Oh no, that's gamjatang lady.
Oh, okay, different. Well, anyway, so
Auntie's
there's this,
gamjatang.
yeah. So another reason why Korea is awesome is so this lady, this auntie took a liking to us, and we'll go to a restaurant to eat breakfast every morning. And so it's
Because we're hungover.
Okay, oh,
Yeah,
and so there's this soup. It's called kamjatang, which is potato soup, but it's made with like beef, pork bones. I think pork,
The spine.
the spine. So all the cut off, and then there's meat on the bones, right? And so they it's like a super like auntie teach me how to make it, and she says okay, and then she's like okay, so on day 1 you start with this, and then by the end of the recipe she's like, and on day 5 you can eat the soup kind of thing. Yeah, so it's one of those like deceptively, you know, it takes a long ass time to make soups, but anyway, so it's really good for hangovers. So we used to go to a restaurant every day on that trip, and then one day Like out of the blue, she just like fries us these eggs.
Oh, now I remember.
And
Yeah.
we're like super full
Like,
and kind of queasy because we were hungover, right? But then it's like that's like super rude if you don't. But she made us like this plate of eggs, and she's just like, "Oh, here, service." Like, oh crap, we gotta at least eat like half of these eggs, because if not, that's like super uncool.
There's a lot of things you don't see here that you might be able to find it here at certain places. Like Million Restaurant has a kamjatang, but there is a flavor difference. What I can recognize is it might be style of preparation, because it gets kind of close. But what I haven't been able to find here is like a good solongtang, which is a white broth, real deep,
Oh, there's another one.
like beef bone soup that you actually kind of gotta add salt to it to get the flavor to come out a little bit more. But like, holy smokes, I haven't found anything here that doesn't taste like I can make myself. And if I can make it myself, then it's not Korean, because I was never taught how to cook Korean. So
Do they have those like grill it yourself style restaurants there?
yes, and that's pretty different too. Like, I like Jen over here. Don't get me wrong, I like it,
They're okay.
but it's pretty Western.
It's cheap.
When you
I mean, it's
Just you got
when you
me
get to
there.
Korea, one of the things is
$30 all
Yep.
you can eat.
Yeah.
how do they say it?
keep it
Samgyeopsal. So a lot of pork belly places or pork meat places, and same thing like with the bulgogi there. The pork just looks like, oh, they brought us unmarinated pork belly, and it's like, holy smokes. And usually after that, you along the course of din or meal, you get like kimchi and vegetables, and sometimes you throw it on the grill, sometimes you don't, depending on the restaurant. And then usually toward the end is when they bring you out the rice, and like the lady will talk to us in Korean, and we don't know what the hell's going on, but she'll throw everything together and make like a fried rice with it. We had that also with
I'm getting
duck
hungry.
in Busan. We did how many tours? 4 city tour, and one of the stops was Busan.
Party bus.
Where
That was
that
awesome.
was awesome.
I want to get on next time.
So we pull over to this place, right? It looks like a house, and it's set like right on the banks of like this river or pond or lake, and like it's like the movies, dude. Like you see the moon coming out, and a little bit you expect the Avatar, the Airbender, to come out, and like it's just so picturesque and beautiful. And the lady's like grilling for us duck and all this other kind of meat, and her kimchi and everything, and then she's kind of half saving the drippings in a pan, and she made like the most incredible fried rice I had in my life. Like, I dream of that stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like
I
it's
dream
like
of that more
with an
than selling
amazing meal.
ukuleles.
It's just like, what did you guys think of Australia?
I love Australia too.
Oh, Australia is cool.
That's another
Yeah.
place I want to go.
Meat pies, meat
Pies.
and crust.
meat and crust.
They don't waste time with the
Kinda
peas and carrots.
Hard to
Like,
go wrong there.
Yeah, it's just pie with
Yeah.
meat in it.
Pie
it's
with
it's
meat?
exactly what you
Just
I
straight
like
up.
pie. I like meat.
Yeah.
And I learned the Australian compliment. You don't say it's good. You say it's not bad.
Oh,
It's not bad.
What about China? First thing I would say China.
Let's get his opinion because he didn't want to go.
Yeah, I didn't want to go. I was super not happy to go.
For
And-
real?
Yeah, and so, yeah, because I'm normally not, while I'm a part of sales, I'm not, Brian's our frontline, guy, right? And, I'm involved, but it's not my main area of responsibility.
Right,
So,
Unless you want a red label, then.
yeah, then. But,
I want to eat some of your sushi, dude.
but yeah, I didn't want to go. Like I made up my mind ahead of time that China's gonna suck. It's gonna be this way. It's gonna be like Chinatown, and like just the perception of like our Chinatown here. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like fighting for a place in line. I don't like
Oh, yeah,
I don't like
yeah.
bartering. I don't like I don't like. I like my personal space. I don't.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just. It's not my style.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
here I am thinking like, well, that's gonna be me in a country of a billion of these people, and then man, it was like awesome.
It's good,
China's
yeah.
super cool. They're super nice.
Yeah.
They're friendly. They're helpful. They're like. They're very much not like what I was expecting,
you see
and
on TV,
yeah, like
yeah.
yeah, and just like it was way cleaner than I thought it would be. It was cheap.
It actually wasn't, but it's okay.
Yeah. So China and the food. Oh man,
Food is
Yeah,
incredible.
Holy,
man,
that was
like
a very,
real Chinese food. Like, thing is, like I love me like local Chinese food too, but like it's different. It's like
it's nowhere near.
yeah,
Like,
it's just it's
it's
like
completely
Well,
different.
we're influenced by Cantonese and Hong Kong here.
That's what my friend was saying.
You should see the Chinese food on the mainland.
oh,
It's like,
is it even,
what are you guys
even,
serving
even,
here?
even more even faker?
Mugu Gai man, what is this?
But yeah, China's awesome. Like I actually enjoyed that trip so much that I went from I hope I never ever have to go to China, and you know prior to the trip like I hope I never ever have to go to China again, to like
I can't wait to go back.
I want to
Yeah.
take my family there for vacation.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, like I will voluntarily spend my money to bring my family there. Yeah, because I want to see like the Great Wall and you know do like all the historic stuff because it's a, I mean,
It's a beautiful big country.
oh,
you know?
it is, and it's so cool like because
And they
I
invented pandas.
they did,
Yeah.
and I only went
Really?
kung fu,
They
kung
did.
fu,
I thought they happened naturally, no?
kung fu.
Well, you know, Panda the restaurant too.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Express?
I kid you not.
We went to Beijing. The best part of the trip was the food.
Yeah.
But we went to Beijing because we can eat duck all over the place. But then the first day we got into Beijing,
Oh, I never ate duck there, dude.
holy, I almost cried. It was that
Okay.
good.
Why didn't you?
I was
Did you hold? Did you emotionally hold back?
Yeah.
I did a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had
goodness.
to because I was in a room full of men,
Yeah.
and they were like, I can't show my emotional side or else
Yeah.
they're gonna judge me
You should have.
incorrectly.
You would have probably drawn a stronger connection.
Did you? I
They were
was
probably
watching.
expecting me to cry. I almost cried. It was amazing.
I was watching this. I don't know if it was YouTube or some food show I was watching, but like baking duck apparently is like one of the hardest things
To
to
cook.
cook,
Yeah,
and
I
like
can
like
imagine.
world class.
Probably not in Peking though.
Not for them.
Yeah.
That's a normal
like,
occurrence.
it's like-
I make
Yeah,
that for
no,
breakfast.
but
I got
like
this.
for like
Just give me a
world
duck.
class like Michelin star chefs like say that it's hard to do, and like it's crazy. So like the guys who like continue those restaurants, like all they freaking do is cook duck.
Oh yeah,
But the
you
thing is,
better
they
be
do
good after
one
1,000.
thing and they're like badass at. But like even down to like a difference of seconds in how you have it in the oven or they're big. It's more like a kiln, but
Oh,
like they're
it'll
ju-
just change.
yeah, and like
everything,
how
right?
you rotate it and the amount of smoke, and it's like a art form, and like, and then because you want the skin to be crispy, but you don't want it to completely come off, and like it's and like the tea that you use to steam it, and like there's like this whole crazy like
This lady came out on, like how we have the roast beef
Yeah.
station or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
where they cut the roast beef over the
Yeah.
hot lamp or under the hot lamp. This lady comes out randomly. She just starts chopping this duck. Holy crap! This is amazing.
yeah
Table side, and she brings out everybody this dish where you put the duck in
yeah
with the sauce and whatever.
yeah.
You could either just eat the skin, or you could eat the duck, or the duck with the skin.
Yeah.
I remember just eating the skin.
Any
It's like,
Hawaii
oh.
boy is gonna say, "What happened to the skin, dude?
That's where I almost
My
cried.
kids are
The
just
best
skin.
part." It's like,
I ate the skin. And I was like, what is going on?
it's like a different level. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing what is going on in China with the ukulele market. Like, there's so many people. Yeah, there's so many people,
Yeah.
and from that, you get a good number of
Yeah.
ukulele lovers.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you had 1% of a billion,
Yeah,
that's
right.
still a lot.
I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's a lot.
I think that's a lot of people.
I mean, it's gotta be. It's a billion.
I was like, a lot of zeros.
It's gotta be more than 10.
Got the boss calling me.
All right. Can
She's like,
you Can you take? I did have a black label. I lied, but it's not for sale.
Let's
It's an
get-
artist one, but
Let's give Corey. Let's get Corey to play a song,
Can you
and that'll
take
be
us
our
out with a
outro.
song?
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, but let me need another glass of.
Okay. I'm gonna
We're
need
dry
A,
right now.
I'm gonna need a
I
glass.
I just checked.
Just keep rolling with the punches. All right, Corey, take us out.
Oh, is that just a warm up?
What was that?
Wow.
Oh, you like that song?
Well, I mean, it was nice.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll play that then. I like that song.